I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I have been thinking about recording myself for a little while, and it's really weird and kind of awkward now that I'm actually doing it, but even if this is never shared, I think it might be nice to have. And I have a sinus infection, so I sound a little bit like the Crypt Keeper. But I am wanting to talk about how pissed off I am that it is so hard to get pregnant. I'm 33, I'll be 34 in November, and my husband and I have been trying to conceive for 8 or 9 months now. And in fairness, we haven't been earnestly trying that entire time. That's cracking. We haven't been trying in earnest that entire time. There have been some months where I was over it, and it wasn't that we stopped having sex completely, but I just was like, I'm not gonna track my ovulation, I'm not gonna stare at the calendar, I'm not gonna count the days, because I'm over it. I got pregnant back in December, and it ended in miscarriage, but it was really early. It was a chemical pregnancy, and it was funny because that pregnancy was the cycle that we had decided, okay, we're going to try. And I got pregnant right away. The first try, I got pregnant, and it just felt like it was meant to be. And I don't say that about hardly anything, but we were home for Thanksgiving. We had our family around us. I wanted to be pregnant for the first time in my life. Never wanted kids. We'd been married for 3 years at that point, and everything just felt right. We have just moved into our new apartment. We have the space. We have the money. We have job security. Let's do this. And it happened. And I just felt, I'm not going to lie, there was a little part of me that felt a little bit smug. And I didn't say na 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 to anyone, but I just felt like everyone told me it was going to be so hard. And look, here we are, pregnant. And I got very excited. My husband was a little bit freaked out, and I remember we bought ornaments for our grandparents at Christmas, and we ended up never taking them out of the box because by the time we got home for Christmas, I was losing the pregnancy. And I was sad, but I wasn't, it was so early that I was not destroyed or devastated. I was just more disappointed that this wasn't going to work out at a time when it had felt so right and perfect. And ever since then, that the next 2 or 3 cycles, we hit it. We hit it hard. And you hear so many different things. Some people tell you, this is the most fertile time after miscarriage, you're going to get pregnant right away. And then you hear other people saying, give your body to rest, give yourself a couple of months. So that's where we are. And probably for the past 2 months, 2 cycles, I just wasn't feeling it anymore. I was like, you know what? I don't really want a kid. I kind of fell back to my default position. Which was, I love you very much, but, maybe I'm just not supposed to be a parent. I'm a selfish person. I like to sleep late. I don't always pick up after myself. You know, I'm lazy. So, and I like having disposable income. So why would I, you know, finally now after 15 years of working my tail off, and we finally have a little bit of financial security, why do I want to throw that right out the window? And then slowly something started to change, and I decided that I was ready to maybe try again. So this cycle we've been trying, and it's been really weird. I, of course, started my cycle earlier this month, and I feel like as soon as my cycle was over, I was ovulating. Like the next day or the day after, crazy breakouts, which you can kind of see all through here. Super tired. My boobs were enormous and really tender. Like I'm never that way during ovulation. Sometimes I feel the little, you know, pinching, but that's about it. I was just like exploding. And I just so happened to have my annual exam right around that time, and my OBGYN gave me a sonogram, and the text said, you know, well, this, you could be ovulating or you could have an ovarian cyst. There's, you know, I can't tell on this, but you've got something there. And my understanding is that the symptoms for an ovarian cyst and ovulation can be very similar. Bloating and just kind of feeling like you're ovulating or maybe even about to start your period. But I really do think it was ovulation, because after those 2 days, 3 days, I felt a little bit more back to normal. I mean, I'm telling you, I was so bloated, I could not, my pants felt so uncomfortable. I just remember sitting at work being like, I want to go home. I want a heating pad. I want to fart. It was very uncomfortable. But I took it as a sign, and, you know, got right back up on that pony, and we were trying. So I don't know how to feel. Like, part of me wants to be very excited that in maybe 14, 16 days I can start like peeing on a stick all the time and seeing if I'm pregnant, which is always very exciting. But then there's the larger part of me that's like, do not get your hopes up. You've done this so many cycles before. You know exactly what's going to happen. It's not going to stick. And even if you do get pregnant, then I know that for the next 9 months, really, but, you know, 10, 12, 15 weeks, I'm going to be terrified that I'll lose it. So this is just day one, I feel like. I feel like it's day one all over again. I'm restarting, I'm refocusing. Back on my prenatals, I'm starting to work out. I'm trying to eliminate as much stress as I possibly can, and trying to be positive, which is very hard for me. I tend to be very cynical and acidic. It's just who I am. But I feel like if I'm going to make room in my life for this, I have to realign my thinking and be a little bit more positive. I don't want to change who I am, but I think that I can improve, and that's what I'm trying to do. So if this doesn't take, if in 2 weeks I'm not pregnant, then my OB went ahead and gave us prescriptions for, or a writ, so that I can go and get some blood work done, and so that my husband can go and get his boys checked out, and we'll see what happens from there. But damn, it's hard. I had no idea it was so hard. I get so frustrated when I think about my 20s and how terrified I was of getting pregnant. And I'm sure it would have been easier then, but you know, I wasn't in the right spot. I would have been a terrible parent. There's no question about it. So now is the right time, and I say cross your fingers, but I know that if you cross your fingers and I end up getting pregnant, I'm going to be terrified. I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. I don't feel this overwhelming urge to be a mom and create life and give birth and have a baby. I want to have a baby because I am so desperately in love with my husband, and he is the most wonderful person that I've ever met. And a couple years ago, and you know, I can vlog about this later, I just had this revelation that if I don't have a baby with him, when he dies, there will be nothing left of him in this world, and there should be. There really should be. And that urge was so strong to make more of him. It was all-consuming, and it was enough to overwhelm, you know, 31 years of baby reluctance. Not even reluctance, like denial. Don't want it, don't need it, not for me. So that is pretty powerful stuff. So I don't know if I would be less scared if I was someone who, and I don't, to each his own, like I don't necessarily wish I was one of those women, but I love those women. I'm friends with, most women are like that in my life. Everyone's different, you know, and I don't know if I'd be less scared if I was like that. Somehow I doubt it. The default position for a lot of women when they get pregnant seems to be like, yes, oh, what have I done? So anyway, that's where I am, that's where I'm going, and I just wanted to share. So thank you.